Well, no doubt this is going to be a lot of fun, Jamie. We are heading out to the middle of the ocean for today's SoCal Spotlight.
Sheba Turk hopped on the Catalina Express to Avalon. And Sheba, boy, what a tough assignment you have today.
I know. It's so difficult. You know, I'm going to suffer if I have to stay here longer to do research, ladies. Good morning, Jamie and Rachel. From Catalina Island this morning, we are on Crescent Avenue, which the locals call Front Street. So many amazing options here. What I love, you've got restaurants, shops, eateries, all kinds of entertainment. And then just a couple of steps away, we've got the beach right behind us. And we arrived in Catalina yesterday on the Catalina Express. We walked along the pier, found all kind of great activities from scuba diving to getting on a submarine. Check out all the things we found yesterday.
Try it. It's a great sport. It'll open your eyes to what's around us.
We are at Casino Point Dive Park, where thousands come every year to enjoy scuba diving. Why? Because we hear this is some of the best diving conditions in the entire country. They say the water is clearer, calmer, and warmer.
It's a marine preserve, and we have a bazillion fish out here. It's kind of like an aquarium.
There's over 700 different species of aquatic animals out here, ranging from all sizes. We have nudibranchs, the size of your pinky. We have black sea bass, giant black sea bass that are about 300 to 500 pounds, 3 to 7 feet long. So all kinds of animals under the cracks and holes. You can see lobsters, eels, octopus. We have a few tiny species of sharks that hide in the cracks and holes. All kinds of things. So every day is different. You never know what you'll see out here.
This involves a lot of equipment. What am I putting on?
So this is what we call a buoyancy compensation device, or BCD. It's what helps you float at the surface and what helps you stay at a good positioning underwater.
What do you say to people who are scared to try it?
I was too. It's actually his fault. I dive. So it's one of those things where it looks dark, it looks scary, it's kelpy down there. And what you realize when you're under the water is it's the angle of the sun. So it's bright as day down there, and it is actually not scary.
There's lots of cool stuff to see under the water here in Catalina Island, but if you really want a great view, you got to take it to the skies on a helicopter tour.
Once you get off the ground here, you're able to see the front half of the island, the back half of the island, and from above. There's so much to see on the island, which includes the sea life, and also inland. If you're at the right place at the right time, you can also find some bison as well. The island's beautiful. It's about 22.5 miles long, and today is a great day to see it. And we circle the island in about 20 minutes and give you a great view of everything from Two Harbors, Avalon, and the backside of the island.
What do you hear from people who take the flight?
They see things they didn't expect. I mean, when you're on the ground, you just typically can't see some of the things you do from the air. And as a result, we can also slow down and speed up and let folks see some of the things that maybe they want to see, and tailor some of those tours a little bit for them as well.
But if you're not in a helicopter, the best way to get around the island is by golf cart. You don't need a car, just riding your golf cart. So cute. There's so many great shops, restaurants. I could live here. So we had so many great adventures yesterday, guys. We are back on the pier this morning for more action. And I want you to look down here. You saw me riding on the golf cart. If you look down the streets here, you're going to see more golf carts than cars. And that's because Avalon is the only city in California which restricts the number and size of vehicles. So, guys, there's actually a 25-year wait list to own a vehicle here in Avalon. There's so many fun facts, and we've got lots of cool stuff coming up for you in just a bit.
Yeah, most of the hotels there, too, offer shuttles because you can't get an Uber on Catalina Island. It's very few and far between.
Nope.
Sheba, thank you.
Wow. Well, we have an exciting SoCal Spotlight this morning.
Catalina Island is full of both adventure and a lot of history. Our Sheba Turk gets to experience all of it today. Sheba, I can't wait for you to take us to the olden days.
Yes, I think we need to go back, ladies. Rachel and Jamie, so far we've been focused on the fun you can have present day in Catalina Island. But as I mentioned earlier, and you shrieked, as I did too, this history of the island goes back 7,000 years. That's when it first had inhabitants. So we want to know more about that. We're inside the Catalina Museum for Art and History. Adam Wild with the museum is here to teach us more about this history. That is a fun fact. 7,000 years is a long time, Adam.
It's a crazy amount of time. The first islanders were thought to have called themselves Pimungans, and they were thought to have called called the island Pimu, meaning mountain in the sea. Master soapstone carvers and fishermen traversed the channel in wooden canoes. So imagine that that crossing you did yesterday, but in a canoe.
I can barely imagine it. Very different adventure than what I did yesterday.
Definition of full send.
You know it. All right, another part of the history we've talked about here this morning is, of course, tied to the Wrigley Empire.
Yeah, everybody knows William Wrigley Jr., owner of the Chicago Cubs, William Wrigley Chewing Gum. He bought controlling shares of the Island Company in 1919, and he envisioned it as a playground for everybody, old or young, rich or poor. Really developed it into the island that we know and love today.
Very nice. Okay, so those are the two parts of the history I think a lot of people are familiar with. What else do we have here?
Well, every baseball fan knows that the Chicago Cubs famously had spring training here. Another fun fact is Avalon is the birthplace of big game saltwater sport fishing, with the Tuna Club being the oldest saltwater sport fishing club in the world.
Very cool. You are the king of fun facts, Adam. Do most people who come to the island understand the history of it, or is that why you guys are here?
Not everybody understands the bigger picture of history. Like, people get like the general, like, okay, there's like the first peoples and the Wrigley family, and that's kind of the main things here. But like, did you know that the CIA had its roots on Catalina Island?
Did not know that at all.
Fun fact, they used White's Landing and Toyon Bay as a training ground after the events of Pearl Harbor. So they needed a secret place to train operatives in the art of espionage.
Awesome. We are passing Marilyn Monroe and Houdini. Tell me about their ties to the island.
So Marilyn Monroe moved to the island with her husband, and that's where she developed her famous star personality. Her exact address is unknown, but it is rumored, and there is evidence to suggest she lived on Upper Metropole Avenue, where the museum currently stands today.
Very cool. Then we've got Houdini right next to her.
Yes, he came to the island. He filmed a movie called Terror Island. The plot involved rescuing somebody in a submarine, which was new technology at the time.
Really cool. It seems like you know just about everything about this island, and walking around it does seem like there's just a lot of history among the things that a lot of us just look at as fun.
Yeah, there's just like everywhere you look. So the museum has a unique place on the island in that you are in the place where the history has happened. So when you come and visit the museum, and you walk around town, you can say, oh, wow, this is where Marilyn Monroe lived. Oh, this is where Catalina Pottery was made. Ties to like early California with this original California state flag here in the Cabinet of Curiosities.
There's just so much history, guys, and of course this was the hot spot for Hollywood elites back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, so no surprise that we see a lot of them in the museum. There is a second floor. We're not going to make it up there today, so you have to come visit for yourself. They're open 7 days a week from 10 to 5, and come check out the Catalina Museum. Among the fun, you need to learn some of this history, but we do have lots more coming up for you this morning. Adam mentioned the pottery. We're going to dig into some of that later on, because that's also a big part of being here at Catalina, ladies.
Well, I feel like I have so many questions now.
Me too.
So now I'm going to have to go, like, which husband was it of Marilyn Monroe that she lived with on Catalina Island, you know?
Yes. Adam probably knows. Which husband of Marilyn Monroe's did she live here with? I stumped you? Okay, pretend we didn't ask. Erase that from the tape. We're going to figure it out later.
All right, Sheba, thank you.
See you soon,
I thought he
Cheese.
knew everything. Thanks, guys.
Wow, what a tease. It is so rich in history. I am so fascinated.
I know, blown away.
So good,
Yeah.
so good. All right. Well, today we are just loving our SoCal spotlight. Our Sheba Turk is live on Catalina Island, taking us into the ocean, into the air, and into its most recognizable landmark.
Now it's time to go inside the culture of the island. Sheba is live at Silver Canyon Pottery. Beautiful, Sheba.
Oh, Jamie and Rachel, yes, you see these beautiful tiles all over the island, and a lot of people grab them up as souvenirs or just take pictures while they're here. We wanted to know who was making them, so we're introducing you to Robin Cassidy. She's the owner of Silver Canyon Pottery. You've been making these tiles for 35 years now.
Yes, that's a really long time, but it's gone by in a flash.
It certainly is. And I know you were telling me a lot of people don't realize the tiles are made here on the island.
Yes, actually, and going back historically, I'm part of a long tradition that started here clear back in the 20s that involves so much more of the island than people realize, including all the building products that created the town in the first place. Being on an isolated location made sense to make them right out here in Catalina, and I'm happy to be a longstanding part of that tradition.
Very cool. How did you get into something like this?
Well, it was actually the condition issues that existed downtown. A lot of these tiles over many, many years had been deteriorated from the salt conditions, and being an island gal myself, it was important to me that island tiles remained as people expect them to be, so kind of fell into it.
Showing off some of the work you've done earlier, do you have a favorite piece?
Well, I generally love the fountain that's in the main part of downtown because it's such an iconic landmark and something that on a daily basis I see people creating their own memories, taking photos in from. So I'm happy to be sort of an unsung part of that tradition that people record as part of their experience on Catalina.
Awesome. How long does it actually take you to make one of these?
Well, as the crow flies, it's probably going to be about 2 minutes. There's processes that make that stretch out into 2 to 3 weeks, but we have it all set up for you here, so we can give you the very quick example of how these
give me the abbreviated version. Okay, what are we making?
Well, we're going to make a tile. These tiles are some of the exact patterns that you're going to see downtown. So initially, I take a slab of clay, and you can see here that these are going to be very similar to the patterns that you see downtown, just like a shortbread mold. So that's doing all the work for us here. The clay is malleted into that, and then you see here, this is a tile that's been sitting for a while in this very porous mold, and just for you guys today, we've made a special.
Look how cute! Thank you. It's beautiful.
Catalina, and here's the real magic that happens: that after just a few minutes, you simply take it like this and you flop it out like that, and there you go. That's Catalina tile created.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
How special. And guys, you can grab these as souvenirs. Tell me the shop that sells them.
Catalina Pottery Tile, located in Central Avalon, carries all of my work as well as original pieces.
Absolutely beautiful. You can also take a class or a tour with Robin. And I'm going to run over here really quickly because, Jamie, you always say, I love love. Look how cute this is. That's my favorite one.
Oh, I'll send you a Venmo. Get it for me.
Isn't that sweet?
It is. I love it.
You got it.
Shiva, thank you. Let's go ahead and get a check.
We are back with story number 9 in this week's SoCal Spotlight. Our Shiva Turk went underwater for an up-close view of Catalina Island's spectacular, colorful fish and local marine life.
We've gotten some really cool views of Catalina today, but this one is unique. We are underwater, in fact, 8 feet underwater in a sub, and look at all the fish. This is absolutely beautiful. I've never seen anything like it. Grayson Klein is with Catalina Island Company. He's joining us now to tell us about this really unique experience. What am I seeing?
Yeah, so right here, if you look outside the window, we have calico bass. If we're lucky, my favorite thing to see is the large black sea bass that come the window. As you can see, it's like a feeding frenzy right now. We feed the fish, they know it's lunchtime, they're ready to go. We'll see some hints of orange in there. That's the California Garibaldi. But this is what our captains and deckhands see on a daily basis, and we love to offer this to all the people that can come visit Catalina Island.
This is really neat. How long is the tour, and what can people expect during it?
So the tour is 45 minutes long, and we take off from the Pleasure Pier down at Catalina. And when you board the ship, you'll get a safety briefing, and we'll take off to Lover's Cove, which is where we're at now. And the captain and deckhand will come in here and give a great spiel and tour about all the fish that we have to see down here on the island, and it's a great place. It's a 45-minute tour.
Yeah, I'm sure you see some pretty unique stuff. What are they being fed?
So they are being fed just fish food that we order every year, and we've been doing it since we started running this.
Must be the good kind. Okay, we see all different kinds of fish. They've got some really bright orange ones over here that are cool. What are some of the neatest things you've seen down here?
Neatest things, like I said, is the black sea bass. You'll get some of them that range from anywhere from 50 to 60 pounds. And when you see them, they're hiding in the kelp, but they're a beast of a fish down there.
Nice. What I think is so neat is Catalina just standing on land is gorgeous.
Yes.
We've also talked about helicopter tours today, snorkeling. There's so many different things to see, but there's really nothing else like this.
Nothing like this. No, we also have another vessel that we offer, our glass bottom boat, and it just, like I said, you get to see the same fish, but it's from a different experience, different view, and that's another tour that you guys should check out as well, our glass bottom boat voyage.
This is very neat. And what do people say after they experience this?
Wow. Wow, all they can say is wow.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Well, I'm sure this is a great time. Thank you for giving us a little sneak peek of it. And there go the fish. More food must be dropping. Grayson, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm Shiva Turk from Catalina Island with KCAL News.